Welcome to the Greensboro Housing Authority's 75th anniversary. This housing authority has come a long way since its inception in 1941. In celebration of GHA's 75 years of providing affordable housing for Greensboro residents, we are highlighting our rich history by telling you about GHA's events that took place in the past, the present, and the future. First, let me tell you about the past. In 1939, the Greensboro City Council responded to the concerns of citizens, local civic clubs, and newspapers for improved housing conditions for low-income families. The Greensboro City Council authorized an application to the North Carolina State Planning Board for a real property survey and a low-income housing survey within the city. The request was approved and the survey began in June 1939 and was completed in July 1940. The preliminary report cited 7,728 family groups occupying substandard housing units in the city of Greensboro. Of those family groups, 57.5% received income of less than $1,000 a year. Due to their home income levels, it was determined that they could not afford to be rehoused in standard housing. As a response to the report, the Greensboro City Council established a housing authority for the city of Greensboro as the first step in addressing the elimination of some of the worst slum sections. On June 17, 1941, barely 6 months before the United States entered World War II, and only 4 years following the creation of the United States Housing Act, a special meeting of the City Council was held and the Housing Authority for the City of Greensboro was formed. GHA's first Board of Commissioners was appointed to serve, and GHA was incorporated by the state of North Carolina on July 22, 1941. Despite the application by GHA for a Certificate of Public Convenience to the North Carolina Utilities Commission in 1941, it would be 10 years before the first low-rent public housing units would be completed. The war interrupted and virtually stopped all construction of public housing. In 1951, the construction of Greensboro's first public housing communities, Morningside Homes and Smith Homes, were completed. At that time, housing was segregated, with Smith Homes opening for whites and Morningside Homes for blacks only. Ray Warren Homes was the third community to be built in 1959. It was named after GHA's first executive director, Ray Warren. The community still stands today on East Gate City Boulevard. Due to the overwhelming need for affordable housing in Greensboro, applications for housing far exceeded the number of apartments available in GHA's 3 public housing communities. The construction of public housing included playground equipment to make the living environment enjoyable and improve the lives of low-income families. In the midst of money constraints, residents created good memories while living in public housing. Due to the development of public housing, families enjoyed decent and affordable housing. They were able to develop a sense of pride and hope for the future. In 1983, the Police Neighborhood Resource Centers were created through the partnership of GHA residents, GHA staff, and the City of Greensboro as a deterrent to crime in public housing. The partnership continues today to improve the living environment of its residents with 5 PNRC stations located in GHA's larger communities. In 1989, GHA staff, residents, and the City of Greensboro worked together to combat drugs throughout the Greensboro area. The organization Residents Against Drugs was instrumental in bringing attention to and solutions for drug trafficking in our city and communities. The Housing Authority also held community meetings with residents to discuss community events and provide an opportunity for residents to address any concerns they may have within their living environment. The residents and employees organized marches against drugs and violence. The PNRC collaborated with residents and were assigned to various communities. This created open dialogue and community involvement as everyone worked together. In 1983, the Section 8 Voucher program was made permanent. By year 2000, GHA was awarded 935 vouchers through the Housing Choice Voucher program and managed a total of 16 public housing communities. In 2002, Morningside Homes was demolished and a new community was constructed. Willow Oaks was constructed in partnership with the City of Greensboro with HUD's Hope 6 and public and private funding. The community is beautiful and includes home ownership opportunities, homes for elderly and disabled citizens, apartments, and a community building which includes meeting space as well as a daycare center. Throughout our 75-year history, the Greensboro Housing Authority has strived to meet its mission to provide safe, quality, affordable housing to low-income families, elderly, and disabled in the Greensboro community, to maintain a secure community environment, and to encourage personal responsibility and upward mobility of residents while maintaining the fiscal integrity of the agency. This concludes the segment of past events. Please travel to our present kiosk to learn where we are today.